Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness, I had this on mute. I didn't have my mic on. I apologize. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my live. Hello, California Ford 44. I am Coach Sherri, and this is day 21 of 60 days going live. I am at an abandoned Lowe's. I know that California Ford 44, you said this looked like a Walmart, but this is a Lowe's, and I've had my eye on this place for years now. It's been closed down, abandoned for about 10 years in this area. And this area, there's not a lot going on, especially for young people. Now, this is not my first video in this location. I've done lives here before because I literally have had my eye on this for at least 10 years. And I just think that it's a shame that it had to close down. I do know that, oh, okay. I do know that they just opened up a casino here, but as you all know, casinos are for adults, 21 and older. But there's a lot of youth here, and if they are into sports like AAU, basketball, volleyball, baseball, or anything like that, just for practice, they have to travel at least an hour just to practice each way. If they go to tournaments, most of their tournaments, if they're in state, are going to be about 2 hours away. Now, where I am now, I'm not going to disclose the exact location, but where I am now is on it intersects 85 and 95, north and south. So people that are traveling, and people do travel. As you know, I was in Maryland yesterday, and it took us 2 hours last night to get a room because there was an AAU basketball tournament going on. And people travel from New York all the way down to Florida. People travel from Florida all the way up to New York and all the states in between: Maryland, Virginia, um, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, everywhere on the East Coast. And this location would be so perfect to have tournaments and have it as a facility where the youth can also practice and get trained, have specialty training. I've seen facilities about not even as big as this, really, where they even had ice rinks for hockey players, baseball cages, batting cages. They had turf fields for indoor football. Flag football is about to blow up for, unisex, male, female, young and old. They have flag football girls teams now in our high schools. We just had the inaugural year in the high schools in Charlotte. So those are going to also probably start having year-round tournaments and possibly indoors, And this location, I have always had my eye on it and just can envision, because my children, they played AAU sports. So, the interesting thing about AAU sports is that, yeah, you see it's raining, very dedicated. The thing about AAU sports is that it's big business. And most of the organizers of the tournaments, they don't own the facility. They just schedule and, tournaments, invite teams in, get the concessions, maybe have a few vendors, and just rinse and repeat, going to different cities, states, and such all around the country. But none of them that I know of. I mean, of course, there are some amazing facilities like this, sports plexes like this, but the organizers that I know, they don't own their own facility. And they don't like to share their knowledge of how they started, you know, how do they do their tournaments. So since I have never been able to get that information, my whole thing is, well, let's open up our own sportsplex and, you know, do something here. Now I'm still trying to negotiate and talk it through with my husband because this is going to be huge, a huge venture. Um, I'm looking for some angel investors, but I know right now with what I have going on in my life professionally that I'm not going to be able to tackle this anytime soon. However, periodically, I do like to come and visit this location just to check in on it, check on my property, and see how it's doing, see what it's doing. And every time I come through, it still looks the same. I envision so much here. Back here could possibly be additional parking or space where teams can come and maybe do some light workouts after or before a game, or they can have their team talks here. If they're being trained, absolutely doing some outdoor training work, maybe right here where um, this thing is right, this trailer is, having it where they can do some type of training on this incline, you know. Um, they have the HVAC, and this was not that old when it closed. So there is, I think the bones of it is really good. It's just a matter of coming in, probably gutting it out to open it all the way up. But you know how Lowe's are. I mean, just next time you have a chance, go to a Lowe's and look and see how it's built on the inside because they all are the same, basically. This could be where maybe the batting cages are for baseball. It's just so much that can be done here. Now, since the last time I was here, which was maybe about 2 years ago, I'd say, time moves so fast, 1 or 2 years ago, they didn't have all of these things, all these pallets in here. Now, I did notice a lot of trailers the last time I was in here that was in the parking lot, and they looked abandoned, but I guess they had items in it. And maybe now they're using this as storage because these things look all brand new. So I'm not sure exactly but look at all of this parking. You know, the hundreds and hundreds of people that attend tournaments and AAU events and such. There's in this town alone, there's 9 hotels. So there's plenty of places for people to stay. It's not too far from other cities or towns that also have hotels. There's all different types of restaurants and such around. But I mean, the lights are still on. I'm thinking the water maybe still works too. They probably go in. But ironically, I have a meeting with like the CEO or the head of Lowe's in the Charlotte area next week. And I'm going to ask him about this if he knows anything about it. And if so, like who would I speak to get the ball rolling? Although I'm still some ways out of having that ball rolled because this would be a huge project. And what I was showing you before when I thought my audio was on is the inside. Um, and I know California Ford 44 said it looks like Walmart, but no, this is a former Lowe's. And I'm thinking the biggest things would be the equipment, the flooring, turf flooring, hardwood floors for the basketball courts, um, the curtain type of dividers so that each court can be divided, bleachers, concessions, um, movable goal posts, also something with the volleyball, courts, the ice rink for hockey, which I've seen and it's remarkable. It doesn't have that part doesn't have to be that big. practice area where people can do like shoot arounds, the batting cages. I really think this area would be perfect for like, well, maybe not. I don't know. It depends. I see all of those things with the awnings that's holding up the roof. Those will probably get in the way. This could possibly be a practice field, a turf field for practice for football and soccer. Definitely soccer. Yeah, I love this property. I asked my dad, so did anyone get the old Lowe's building yet? He said no. I said, when I drop you off, I'm going to head right over there and dare to dream. Dare to dream. There's a couple of people I have in mind that could invest with us for this project. That's one thing I'm really good at is connecting people with projects like this. And I think this would be tremendous. I really do. Again, this is the inside. I don't know if you can see, but it's like a lot of storage. A lot of things are being stored. Plenty of parking. Yeah. And that's that cedar block, cinder block that this building is made out of. So it's built tough to withstand all different types of weather. Um, if you go into any Lowe's, you can tell that it's definitely built to endure. I mean, they were selling things for you to, do something with your home. So, they're going to use some really good quality items as well. They have the fire hydrant right there. All the parking is accounted for in terms of handicap parking. Just would need to repave the parking lot and um, I line it back up. But there's a lot of places that they buy things and as is, the parking lot will remain like this. They don't even care how nice or it looks or not. I mean, it's still a smooth surface. There's just some areas where there's grass popping out, but it's really not that bad. And the reserved handicap parking, the actual signs are good. You really can't see it too well. They're kind of faded on the actual pavement, but that's okay. That's okay. I didn't see any evidence of any type of, um, break-ins or windows broken. I didn't see any evidence of that at all. I didn't even see evidence of animals, large animals, calling this home now. So I don't know if they're still caring for the grounds in some kind of way, making sure there's no litter. I don't see, no loitering. I did see one area down there on that garage that there was some tagging done on it. But you know what? Something like that, I would get an artist, a local artist, to come and definitely do a mural on that. Murals will be abound all over the building, definitely. That would spruce it up. That would give it a identity. That this is where sports happen. I haven't thought of a name for it. Maybe that's the next step for my Dare to Dream project. And I also want to see exactly how large this is. I mean, Lowe's are huge, so it's probably who knows how many square feet. I'm not even going to try to guess, but it's beautiful around here. There's a Hibbett Sports. You could actually walk to it. It's not that far. And then shopping center that's next door. There's a Walmart in the shopping center next door. There's a Food Lion. There's, things. So if people come from out of town and they forget something, a team, maybe someone needs cleats or knee pads or whatever else, Hibbett's definitely would be able to sell that. And I like that the accessibility of that as well as with Walmart. So, people can get their snacks there, food. There's fast food restaurants here. There are a couple of restaurants, not a lot, of eateries, but something like this, I would think, would um, entice more eateries to come to the area. However, I did go to one sports complex like this in Charlotte, and they inside they have a soul food restaurant. And so, a lot of times when you coming from out of town and you have games all day, you don't feel like going to a restaurant and waiting. And even if you're going to take takeout, you just don't feel. Once you get in that car, your next stop, you want it to be the hotel. So I always thought that was brilliant that they put a local soul food restaurant in there. And that soul food restaurant has about three different locations in Charlotte. And so that's just another one of their spots. But I do know there's a lot of independent soul food caterers here in this area. And that would be a great gig for them to have, a contract where they come in during tournament time, open up, and are able to serve their food and, charge, how they would charge if they had a restaurant. Because many of them, they don't work out of a restaurant. Maybe that's where they do their big preps and stuff, but they're not a restaurant. They just do catering. So um, I'm trying to get this. It's a little challenging maneuvering this and the umbrella because it is raining here. It's kind of chilly too. Baltimore, we was just in Maryland and seeing my father's sister who is in the hospital, just it was so wonderful to see her yesterday. I was so happy when I walked in the room and she said my name and recognized me, but I could tell it was just all ebbs and flows. She would say something and the next minute, if you asked her to say it again, or because maybe you didn't hear her or understand, she couldn't recall what she had just said. And towards the end of our visit, she became very restless and a little agitated, and so when we left, and then we were planning on going back this morning on our way out, but my cousin texted me and was like, she had a pretty rough night and things took a little turn. And I would just love if your dad can remember her the way she was last night. I don't recommend that you all come um, on your way home today. So I definitely honored that. I get it. I understand and I could tell it's life and illnesses and just life period is so fleeting, and I'm trying to explain that to my dad how, yeah, you could see someone one day, one moment, and they could be great, and the next moment they could not be so great. And you really have to come to terms with that. That's just how life is. And a lot of people don't, they can't come to terms with that. It just does not register with them. They always focus on, I just saw them. They was just okay. They was just here or whatever. Yeah, that could be. But then in that next moment, God chose a different route. And that's how it is. So all you can do in those cases is be thankful that you had that last time. Be thankful for those moments when they were great and just reflect on that and just know that that's just God's plan sometimes. It's unfortunate you don't want it to be, but that's the reality of it. But I really, really love this property, y'all. So I just don't have the bandwidth or the capacity right now to do anything with it, to do a lot of the due diligence that I know will be needed. I'm going to do the due diligence that's right in front of me that I can. Like I said, I have a meeting with a head of Lowe's this week so I can inquire about this property. I will also look into what the square footage is inside, as well as what the activity is that I do see, which is looks like it's a storage unit. And this place is way too big to just be for storage. And this area needs way too much for a piece of property like this to sit idle, not serving the community. And I know there's a ton of angel investors that are really all about the youth and making sure that they have a safe place to go and to develop. And I believe this could be that. Absolutely. Definitely. So I just wanted to bring you all out here with me. Again, this is day 21 of 30. Ah, I made it. I really wanted to get this one done early because I woke up, I am tired. I am so tired. I was tired yesterday when we left to go to Maryland. And this morning, when I woke up, I was just like, oh my goodness. And again, the hotel we stayed at was very nice. And I really enjoyed the breakfast that came with the room. I mean, they had sausage, eggs, potatoes, fruit, yogurt. They called them New York style bagels, muffins. They had sausage biscuit sandwiches, all types of juices that were really fresh, coffee, of course, and a beautiful place to sit. You know, the area where it was held didn't look like, hurry up and get out. We're not going to make this comfortable for you. It was beautiful. So I really was like, wow, I'm glad that I did get up a little bit earlier to come down for this because usually when they say they have continental breakfast or breakfast, with the room, always I don't always buy into that because it's usually something they just picked up from the local supermarket and it's all prepackaged. And I get it with it being prepackaged because of COVID and whatnot. But at the same time, oh, and they also had waffles. You can make your own waffles. So I see Strong Adventures is in the building. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm just out here. This is my Dare to Dream project. It's an abandoned Lowe's. It's been abandoned for about 10 years now. I've had my eye on it for at least 5 or 6 years, and I would love to turn it into a sports complex for youth. And I come here periodically to check in and see what my property is doing. And just manifesting it. I don't have the capacity right now, time wise, to do much with the due diligence that would be needed for it, but I always love to just come and walk around making sure everything is still intact. And I'm so pleased to know, like, there's nothing ripped up. The fencing is all intact, the windows and such are not broken. The only graffiti I found, or you know vandalism, I want to say, is on that garage down there. There's a garage, and they have a little bit of graffiti written on there that, I mean, I would definitely hire someone local, someone young to come and maybe have a contest. That's what I would do in the area and say, this is the vision. This is going to be a sports complex. What do you think should be the murals on the building, and have them go for it. And I know those are the types of things that I see in major cities like Charlotte, Atlanta, Maryland, DC, New York, beautiful murals representing the area, and utilizing local talent. And that gives purpose, it gives buy-in, and people tend to take care of what they were part of. So that's definitely something I would love to do. But I appreciate you for being here, Warm Strong Adventures. Thank you. As well as you, California Ford 44. And anyone that's watching this on replay, thank you so much. Again, this is not my first time bringing you here to see this property. I've done a live here before, as well as a short or a pre-recorded video, I believe I've done here too. There's another piece of property in this area that I'm very interested in making into um, a RV park of sorts. Because again, a lot of people travel in this area. They don't always stop in this area. There's not a lot to do, but they do travel. And if they do stop, it's just an overnight thing. And I know a lot of people have RVs now. And when they travel, they don't necessarily want to go to a hotel because that's what the RV is for. And there's really not a designated RV park per se that you can have advertised on the highway. 85, 95 again is right in that corridor. It's right tucked in between those two. So there's nothing like that in this area. I don't even know. That's something else I need to research. How many miles apart is the nearest RV park? And I think that would be the bomb. But there's a family that currently owns that property. I know the family, and the daughter is the one that's holding on to it. They're not doing anything with it currently. There's a building that is made out of cinder blocks, similar to this Lowe's. It's a huge building because it used to be a club back in the day, a big club. Then they turned it into an event space. I know a couple of churches ended up renting it or leasing it, and now it's just empty. So it has all of the building itself, which I would use as the community center for the RV park, has all the bones. It has water, it has a kitchen, so you can have a luncheon and a breakfast, breakfast and luncheonette kind of situation. There's again the water, the plumbing, the infrastructure um under the ground is what's important, because that's what costs the most when you're developing something. So all of that's in place. So they have the bathrooms, and you can turn those bathrooms into something with a shower. Maybe also have a laundry room so that they can wash their clothes and such. Tap into what's already there. And that will be a huge project. But I know once it's done, it'll be relatively self-contained, and so I'm looking forward to that. But again, I'm working on something else that's taking a lot of my time that I need to focus on and let that fly high solo without still building it, which is what I'm doing now, building and flying at the same time. So these two projects, they're the dream projects. I have a bookmark on them. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll definitely keep you informed with that. With the developments that my husband and I did, well, the one, we did it together, but in terms of the research and such, that was my thing. And he's good at, gathering the right people as well. But when you do something this big, you definitely have to do really deep due diligence. And at the time, right now, we both aren't capable of doing that, giving it the time that it really needs. It needs 24/7. Doesn't need to, this is not a part-time thing. This is not a side hustle. This is a real deal thing. So it would have to, involve a lot of different moving parts and such. But I just wanted to come on here. And again, I'm at day 21 of 30. If you've missed I'm sorry, of 60, I changed it to 60 days. This is leading up to my Sweet 16, which is in June. My channel will be 16 years young. And I'm like, I want to have it shaken up a little bit and do something and see what I can do with growing my channel, and really having more intentionality around my channel. And so this live every day for 60 days is definitely a good jump start for me. So I am grateful for those of you who have been rocking with me during this process. I do have a playlist for all of the videos up to this point, so if you want to check that out, I have other playlists as well if you want to look at any of those. I have some pretty good footage in those playlists that I think you might find something in there that you would like. But I hope everyone is having a great Sunday, and where you are, I hope you're nice and dry and warm. This weather is up and down. It was in the 80s last week and now today, but I'm not in the Carolinas yet, heading that way. And um, yeah, had a great time with my dad. As usual, he's dropping all these gems and nuggets, and just our banter back and forth it's funny. I should have recorded some things, but I know he was tired today too, and we was just kind of chilling, listening to our gospel music, and just really enjoying that. I see Rudy is in the building. Rudy with autism. Thank you. Ooh, trying to get you up here. This is what I like about StreamYard, is how you can pull up, you know, people that are in your chat. You don't always have to say anything, but you pulling them up lets them know, at least for me, that you see that they're there. Like, I see you, you see me, I see you. So I hope you're having a great day, Rudy, as well. Yes. So everyone, again, stay safe today, and I hope that you are able to figure out what's going to be on your to-do list so that it could be part of your done list by Friday, and be intentional with how you move this week so that you can get some great things going, and strategize so that those goals that you had set forth, you will be on the right path to achieving them. But you have to practice so hard that when you take that shot, you will definitely take it, make it, and win. Every day is an interview, so show up and be your best every single day. You just never know who's watching, and it's not the people that you see. So again,